Okay, so I did say this was gonna be weekly, and then honestly, the bouquet I made for the last one lasted it was living for 3 weeks, so I decided I'm gonna do it every time the bouquet dies, not every week. Because I don't have room for multiple bouquets in my room/house. So, let's talk about the flowers I got today first. Let's get into that first. It's a little windy, so I'm gonna talk loud and see if I need to do voice isolation. Okay, I'm excited about today's flowers. Trader Joe's 8 down. So, start with these carnations. These were what started the palette off today. I saw these carnations, they have they're red and greenish, or kind of red and yellow. And I just thought that was super pretty and unique. And so then I kind of wanted to tie in both colors. And oh my gosh, guys, I looked over and they had the most prettiest dahlias I've seen. These are so nice. Only $6. I was stunned, honestly. These are insanely beautiful. I love dahlias, and they had multiple colors that were insane, but I loved how these ones would go together. And then to tie in the lighter color, I got these. What are these? It says stock bunch, so I don't know about that, but yeah, these to tie in the lighter color and the yellowy color of the carnations. So beautiful. And then I just got some of this greenery. I like how this one's kind of more kind of floppy, and I don't know, it kind of matches this. It was giving the same kind of structure. I don't know. But I'm very excited about these. Also excited about today's topic, although might be found a little controversial, but because I keep kind of wandering on my topics in the other videos, I organized my thoughts today for you all. So I have the laptop out here with me, and we have notes. And this, yeah, like I was saying, a little controversial, but I'm just gonna get into it because if this isn't your forte, if it's not for you, you don't have to stay. I'm just here talking about what I believe in and what I think. So yeah. So today I wanted to get into a little bit of my views on religion and my own religion and beliefs, and how I view the world and how these beliefs came to be. So I kind of wanted to start with my personal kind of journey, I guess. I would say I grew up let me prep. Okay. I was raised, my mom definitely leaned on the more spiritual side, and we were raised we were not raised religious in any way. And then on my dad's side, or my dad's household, we didn't practice any religion. And for my mom's, we didn't practice any religion either, but she definitely is more following spiritual practices herself. Plus, I would say she leans more into witch and pagan, and she goes off of pagan holidays and things like that. So I definitely was kind of in the realm of more or less traditional religion growing up. And then I would say the first time I started kind of getting into it on my own was in 8th grade. I had a very big kind of witchcraft or witchy leaning kind of spiritual awakening, but it was kind of the first time I delve into my own spirituality in that way, or beliefs in any way. And also all my friends at the time were into the same thing, so we kind of we were all in it together. And that's when I started getting really into manifestation, tarot, astrology, and those are all things I still carry into my belief system now. However, I will say that it's in different ways now. We'll get into it. And I've really come to a very kind of clear understanding of what my beliefs are, I feel. So, to get into that, over the past year is when I really got into my beliefs spiritually. I really started diving into it. The people that were around me were all kind of in the same thing, and we were doing it together. I came up with some very core values around a year ago that I still hold with me to this day. A main one being, like, I'm a very nature-oriented person. I realized, like, I am an earth person. I am a Virgo. I'm an earth sign. I feel it very, like, through and through. But I was really feeling that this past year as I was coming into my spiritual identity. I definitely feel like I'm someone who's super, super nature connected and thrives in nature, and just really, like, I want to live in harmony with the world around me. I love the earth and I appreciate what she does for us. I see what she does for us and I'm like, look how beautiful. Oh my gosh. And it looks so good with the dahlias. Are you serious? This is a beautiful bouquet. My main values, like, aside from spiritually in, like, an energetic sense and, like, living with pure intention and peace, positive mindset, the other big side of my spirituality is nature and earth. And a year ago was saying nature is my religion and the earth is my temple. Like, I was like, that is exactly how I feel. That is exactly right. Like, the earth is my temple. Why would we not worship the planet that gives us life? I don't know. Yeah, I was just saying that kind of on my own. Like, that's just what resonated. And then I recently came across pantheism, and it was literally saying the same thing. It was literally like, nature is my religion, earth is my temple. That's literally like what pantheism is. And I was like, yeah, this is the thing I've resonated the most with, because I've thought about, let me stop twisting the vase on this metal ass table. Oh my god. I've considered atheism, but it never felt right. And I've considered Buddhism too, which I respect. Like, I really, like, a lot of Buddhist values are like, yeah, that's about right. But like, I don't know, nothing really ever clicked like this, cause I literally came across this, like, in the past couple weeks, and I'm already like, yeah, this is exactly right, cause it was literally quoting exactly what I was already saying. So now let me tell you, what is pantheism? I have it right up here for you. Pantheism is the philosophical and religious belief that the universe and nature are identical to divinity. Rather than worshiping a separate supernatural creator, pantheists view the cosmos as a sacred unified whole where God and the physical world are one and the same. Core beliefs. No supreme being. Pantheism rejects the idea of an anthropomorphic, this is a lot of big words, an anthropomorphic personal God who sits above the universe and judges human actions. Immanent divinity. God is not somewhere else. The divine is right here in the laws of physics, the stars, the oceans, all living things. The sacred earth. Because the natural world is divine, pantheism heavily promotes environmentalism, interconnectedness, and deep reverence for the cosmos. Yeah, that's my program. That's my program, like, exactly. Why would we not, like, be so much more respectful and, like, taken aback by the fact that our planet does all of this? Like, it's not some guy sitting up there like, tree, boom. It's like Earth was created and it creates life, and it's not like, do y'all catch my drift? So that's what pantheism is. And that's what I think people should delve into more, even religious people. And I'm not trying to preach this onto you. I never want to, like, push beliefs onto people, but I would like to question the idea of melding the two together, because religion, it's a, like, pillar of people's lives, and having that stripped away is not what I'm claiming should be done. I think we're all entitled to our own beliefs, but I do think, regardless of religion or not, we as a whole should face the, like, sacredness of our own earth. We can still respect religion while worshiping the land and earth we walk on. I think they can coexist. This kind of leads into my take on religion now and how it's getting harder and harder for me to grasp because of ways that religion is modernizing. Because I want to address that I do know that there are like purely good, kind-hearted religious people, and I recognize them, but some parts of religion is genuinely starting to backflip so much into hate, and it's very, very fascinating for me to just see. We're all just letting it happen, and I'm like, why is religion becoming an excuse to be hateful? That seems like exactly not the point. Here's what I wrote. I don't think religion is bad, but I do think it's slowly becoming more and more of a mask. I feel like it's a little bit of a crutch to not really face science, face what's out there, face what really brought everything here. And it kind of sounds like a nice story to sum things up. But like, I think for us as people, there's so much more to question, consider, and we shouldn't just, I don't know, I think everyone should go through a period of exploring for themselves their own beliefs and trying to figure out what that is for themselves, you know. I think that's like a beautiful thing to experience and go through, and everyone should be entitled to that and not just being forced into a belief, which obviously is hard to avoid. Religion is supposed to be based in love, and we're beginning to see it used in more hateful ways. And I think this is scary because I think the state of our country and government is a whole nother conversation that I do think I'm gonna talk about, but I think keeping people in divide keeps the people at the top in power, and just the more things we're divided over, the more vulnerable we are as a democracy, because there's never going to be a firm equal answer. And so, yeah, there's the good religious people, the pure-hearted ones, and there is religious people whose religion is backflipping into hate, and yeah, the more divided we are, the weaker we are as a community, obviously. So it keeps the higher ups in power. It keeps us under control. I don't know. I would have loved to see a more unified Earth, which is why I talk about this stuff. I think it's so interesting because so much of religion goes hand in hand with hate. Like when you hear someone might be Christian, you might immediately think they're homophobic, they could be racist, they could be sexist, because traditional values. It's not to say that all Christian people are like this. I know they're not. Again, I know they're not. At least for me, especially as a gay person, like when I'm around those people, I have to consider that. I have to consider if it's a safe space to let that be a part of me, which isn't a huge deal to me, but it's like, you do think about it. It's interesting because I don't know why people are justifying hate through religion. I looked up the like basic understanding of what does Jesus teach. It's to love God wholeheartedly and to love your neighbor as yourself. He emphasized radical forgiveness, compassion for the outcast, and humility. That makes me feel like we lost the point here. I lost the point here with my arrangement too. Because conservative, religious, MAGA, Republican-leaning people, they're not loving thy neighbor as themselves. I'm gonna get into this more, the takes of this girl, Lexi Good. She's like, if you want more takes like this, if you want more waking up, bro, she has amazing takes, and I'm gonna talk about that. But, one thing she says is like, if you are like MAGA, you are not like a real Christian, because if you are supporting all of this, well, again, I respect anyone who is religious, but like, it's just, it's been off-putting to me. And I will say, I did go to a church service earlier this year, and it was very peculiar, and it threw me off because, and I do know this is not how every church service goes. It's unfortunate that this is the one that a non-religious person happened to be there for, because it was like, what am I listening to? Because the whole time he was preaching about how your money should go straight into the hands of God first, and basically the first chunk you take out of your paycheck should go to the church and should go to God. And then they were like putting up a QR code on the projector, and we're like, teens, you can set up a recurring payment too. Scan this QR code. Like, I don't know. I was just sitting there like, whoa, like they're literally, and there are people in the crowd like, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, you're just sitting here agreeing with him, telling you to put your first chunk of money not into your savings or not into your life necessities, but to God first. Cause that's how, I don't know, something about that didn't feel right to me. So I was just like, obviously that's not my land. I don't know. I think that like religion, there's sides of it that lean so brainwashy like that, where people are just like, yes, let me give you my money. God needs my money first. And then there are the values that are just like people who are choosing to live their lives as good people, as religious people, which, that's not really what I'm referring to in this video. So I'm gonna not preface that going forward. Like, you guys are not included. I think religion can be beautiful, but I think we need to see how people can coexist with the earth too, and how much that should be worshipped more. If we're gonna spend so much of our life and energy and devotion to this being that's, I don't know, I don't want to say made up, but like this being, then what about the one that's feeding us life everywhere around us? Like, that just feels crazy to me. I don't think people should stay in such boxed mindsets, and I think there should be so much more crossover in your religion, your beliefs, your morals. You can be like, I resonate with different areas of different beliefs. And yeah, I don't think we should try to fit ourselves in boxes. I was never an anti-religious person. Like, I never was just like, all religions suck, mine's the best. Like, I question multiple, and as like a less religious leaning person, like I thought about Buddhism and atheism. Atheism never resonated with me, because I do believe in something. Like, I don't believe in nothing, but it's not just in God. Yeah, I spent my childhood thinking through like my beliefs, and I had so many like existential like experiences about like what is the actual afterlife, what is out there truly, and like, is there anything after we actually die? Like, are we supposed to be living for like heaven and hell? And that just doesn't, that story just didn't really add up to me. Like, my whole life I was just like, I don't know about that. And I was like a kid who was just like, I would pray, but it would be like, if there's anyone, like, it's like, who's actually, watching over me. And now I kind of think it's energy that you manifest. Like, that's what prayer is to me. Prayer and manifestation is a very similar thing. It's like, you're ringing in what you want for yourself and what you want for the people around you. And I think that's what I do now. I don't pray to a god. I low-key just speak into existence. I'm like, I'm okay, my life is beautiful, and I live in peace. And like, when the words come out of me, I feel it. And I think that's another big part of my spirituality is speaking into existence, manifestation, and just like bringing exactly what you want for yourself into fruition. Because it's not as hard as you think it is. You just have to live with intention. This is such like a whimsical bouquet. Like, this is for some like I want to see this at like a dark romantic wedding. Like, I don't know, it's not done yet, but I kind of wanted the greenery to be more like flopping around and less, and if you're getting the vibes. So this is intentional. Yeah, I think we should just not box ourselves in, find ways to let religion and different beliefs coexist, and really explore in what you really think. Cause, yeah, I questioned for so long, and now I've come to, like, it's intention and energy. I don't think I'm gonna go, God, please help me. I'm gonna be like, I have the power to change this in my life, and if I live with intention, like, truly, I feel like a good example of this because I see it working for myself every time I speak with intention. Like, I don't know, I've been a manifesting maniac, so I feel very confident in these values because they are actually coming to life for me. Oh, this is gonna, like, perfectly even it out. I really want to go get some sushi. Okay. I don't think religion should be such an excuse to run from logic and truth. And yeah, I don't know. It just feels like, how are you going to put all your energy towards respecting this supreme being when you're going to walk around our earth and treat it like trash? Anyway, I wanted to get into some opinions from social media and two super different sides of religion that I'm seeing. First, the one being the religion backflipping into hate. And I was recently shown, and this was just crazy to me. I was recently shown this video by my friend of this man preaching, and it's a TikTok reel. And he's literally like screaming, and he's like, and if this person doesn't apologize, and if they don't let up, and they continue to do you wrong, and you never are shown right, pray them into the hands of the devil. Pray them into the hands of the devil? That sounds so violent and not Christian. Like, that sounded insane. Like, how are you even saying that? That's just a crazy way to live. Pray someone into the hands of the devil? That sounds demonic to me. I will talk about the point of, like, Christianity is the one that also created the concept of Satanism and demonic and devils too. So, but okay. Also, I wanted to talk about the Giants incident at Pride Night this year with the few Giants players that wrote a Bible verse on their pride hats because they are homophobic and didn't want to be wearing pride hats. So the verse they use is a verse that's about how a rainbow is like a sign of God, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was about. So that's another thing where, like, they literally used a Bible verse to justify homophobia. Anyway, now I wanted to talk about my freaking girl, Lexi Good. She has the, like, greatest takes out there I've seen. And I came across this video of her I saved about Christianity and being gay. And I wrote down, like, most of what she said. I cut out, like, a few short parts, but this is Lexi Good. I wanted to give her full credit. These are not my words. These are hers. Go find her on TikTok. Please go follow her. She has great takes. But this is what she says. As a Christian, I actually believe that being gay is a sign of having an advanced sense of spirituality. If we are taught as children not to love based off money or looks, if Christ tells us there is no such thing as male or female, we are all one in Christ, to love somebody beyond their material body shows me evidence of somebody's ability to transcend the material. If God does not see us as male or female, who am I to attach to my own or others? If God does not see us as male or female, but souls, wouldn't the person who's able to see others as neither male or female but souls be the person who is more like God? Oh my God, do you guys get this? Like, this is how we need to bring and meld together spirituality and religion and Christianity. Like, it doesn't have to be so divided, guys. We can coexist in such a beautiful way. Because I'm not saying let's eradicate Christianity. I'm saying let's coexist. Let's love thy neighbor. Let's respect each other's values and mix that and meld them together in a way that makes our planet thrive. Can we not be open-minded to this? Like, why do we run off so much hate? Like, it makes me so disheartened, honestly. Another big piece of my issue with religion is the misogyny rooted in it. Like virginity being the concept of altering a girl's status based off the act of a man. That freaks me out. Another great take by Lexi Good on, she has a lot of takes on her belief is that God is a woman and that the divine feminine has been so repressed, which, I could get into that. And I could get into the way the world would be if the roles were reversed. She talks about sex being the act that talking about sex being the act that creates life, Lexi Good says, porn is a cautionary tale of when you remove the divine feminine from sex. It's animalistic because it's male dominated and women are the ones who taught men to have intimate human sex. This is what I'm saying, guys. The way that men lead with ego and women lead with emotion. Women's place, I wrote right here, women's place in society got so lost in men's ego. It disheartens me. Our world would be so insanely beautiful if the roles were reversed. That's how I feel about that. A matriarchy, guys, imagine. Freaking imagine the beauty we would live in. 'Cause, I don't know. There's something dark-sided and sinister about men. And the way they ended up in power. It's just frightening and sad. So sorry. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I need to even out there. I didn't get a ton of dahlias, obviously. Do we like her whimsy, guys? Do you understand the vision, like, that I had with this one? 'Cause I surely do. Alright. I keep getting sidetracked regardless of having my notes up. But, to finish this topic off, I truly believe everyone has the right to their own beliefs. But I do think we collectively need to wake up a bit and love our earth, love thy neighbor, and stop being so rooted in hate and being divided because having different opinions doesn't have to make you divided. We can still just recognize each other all as humans and coexist on this earth and respect. You believe that, I believe this. We can toss our ideas back and forth, see what resonates. I don't know, guys. If you wanna follow a religious path, I feel like we should all at least recognize the life that Earth has given us and not just credit it all to God. Yeah, and I just would love to see a future where the concept of God and our life-giving Earth can coexist in a beautiful way, and we as people can. But that feels steps and steps and steps away now. Anyway,